Welcome back, everybody, to Cool Times Podcast. We talk all things cool about the cold storage construction industry. Joining me is my better half, business and life partner, Miss Jenna Free. We are your host, Vince Free.
I'm really glad that you're directing with your hand in case people didn't know who Vince Free and Jenna Free are.
We have a very exciting show today. We have an in-studio podcast recording with our very good friends at AFAB, Applied Fabricators.
Applied Fabricators.
That's right.
In the house.
Before we jump in and do the beautiful introduction for you guys, we need to thank our guests for listening, supporting us, and everyone asks, how can we listen, how can we see it? We are on YouTube. You can watch the video of this recording on YouTube, subscribe, hit that red button. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can listen in your car, on your way to work, in the bath, in the hot tub, in the cold plunge. You can listen to us anywhere, anytime. And this show is sponsored by our new sponsorship this year and guest, Applied Fab.
Applied Fabricators.
So joining us today, Brandon Reeves and Andrew Bai. What's going on,
Thank you.
fellas?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming and being
We love
in
it down here.
studio. Very cool.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for coordinating dinner last night.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Yeah, lovely dinner last
It was
night.
an awesome dinner. Thank
We
you.
will make a point to be down here more often. I love it.
Well, next time you come for warmer weather and
Yes.
Golf and we'll
golf.
get out on
January,
that boat
February
too,
is
right?
not ideal for January, February is not ideal for coming to Dallas because it could
It's
snow
still
or it
better
could
than
be
Indiana, though.
Yeah.
March and June.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Why don't we jump in real quick
Yes.
and Brandon, why don't you start? Give us your background, all about Applied Fab. You know,
Yes,
I want to
tell our
know the history of
listeners who you
AFAB,
are.
where you started, where you are now, all those things.
All right. Where should we start? AFAB is a family business. It was started by my mom, Julie, and my dad, Bob, in 1984. So my personal background is I went to Indiana University, Kelley School of Business, did about 5 years of outside sales with Fastenal Company. Growing up, I was the young punk working in the shop at AFAB all those years. I guess something maybe go back to where AFAB started. So AFAB began in 1984. It was started by my mom and dad. My dad came from a commercial roofing contractor, and it was their family business. And it was him, his brother, and their cousin. They were three partners. And my dad was the sheet metal. He ran the sheet metal part of that business. So
Okay.
he was an apprenticeship through the union back in the day. And as other family businesses are, the three of them didn't get along as they went through business. So what my dad said is, how about that? It happens. So him and his brother's cousin did not get along very well. So what they decided to do was my dad said, I enjoy the sheet metal part of this business. How about you guys buy them out my third and I'll start a little sheet metal shop. Yeah. And with that and a $10,000 loan from his dad, AFAB began in 1984. And my mom was not working. She went to nursing school, so she did not go to business school or anything, and she became the bookkeeper. And
Of course.
they hired maybe one person at the time.
Wow.
And with a handbrake and a little slitter and maybe 1,000 square feet little shop, that's where it began. So
Wow. And you will be 40 this year. 40 years.
yeah,
That's exciting
we
stuff.
need to have a big banner for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of banners, you have a lot of banners. First off, you hosted an awesome tour, Indy 500.
Yes.
You had a bunch of cold storage contractors come in, and you
Celebrate
did this
the expansion.
celebrate your expansion, which we could talk about. You guys are very proud of your mantras on the wall, and they're amazing. And when you read them all, you can go through them, but when you read them all, you feel like your whole team, like Andrew, you guys all feel like I feel that what you guys preach, and it's very cool.
Yeah.
Building that culture and just everybody being about the culture makes a world of difference.
Oh, for sure. What do those banners say?
I'm glad you asked because I went ahead and put it on my screen here because at the top we have our American flag that was made by some
Yes.
retired firefighters with used fire hose. But yeah, so we kind of discuss our culture and our core values and where our companies began. And these aren't things we just put on the wall because this is what we want to do. This is legitimately how our company has gone from 1984 and little business to where we are today. So I'll read them off and we can discuss a little bit about each one as we go through. But one of our strengths and our strategic advantages is rapid, responsive, reliable. So as you guys know, we're rapid, responsive, reliable. That's
Sure are.
we want to do what honestly is not that hard to do. Just take care of people, respond rapidly. People, customers like yourselves, you guys need things. It's not intentional. Things come up, emergencies happen, and that's what we're there for. We're there to take care of you. We're partners. We want you guys to succeed. We want you to get the job done and get off the job site. So that's kind of a big thing we've grown. And as I said, it's not hard to do. It's just you guys got to do it right. And that's where Andrew has really been great at waving that flag. You see, you send an email, he's going to get back to you, even if it's something like, hey, we're waiting on an answer, we're at least going to acknowledge. So you're going to know we got you taken care of.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to, so the other part of that value is we say, enjoy your beer, we got it from here. So we love when people say, I know I just send an email over, it's off my plate, AFAB's got it. So that's something too that, we got you taken care of.
We can speak to those two
Yes.
immediately as Freeze Construction orders a ton of heavy gauge and metal trim from you guys. I mean, we're on the job if the details change, field
Oh, yeah.
conditions change,
All the
and
time.
we need to get something in before our trade follows us. And we can email Andrew, I swear to you, and say, hey, we need 300 linear feet of this special detailed trim. And we have it like literally the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shipped we'll leave your shop the same day.
Yeah.
And even if I put the order in at 1 p.m., it's like it's done, it's made, it's off. It's like, dude, it's gonna be here that day. And we're like,
And
that's
the
crazy.
way you guys can decipher off sometimes the little napkins and
Oh,
little
yeah.
scratch pieces of paper that we write stuff
Our
down on.
superintendent send you something on a napkin that they're at Applebee's drinking a beer. It's-
So thank you for all of
We
that.
love those orders.
Yes.
So we know what you want. And
Yeah.
that's to the point, enjoy your beer, we got it from here.
Absolutely.
Send that over, we got you taken care of.
You build those relationships, and it's like, I know what you guys are looking to do. I know what you guys order, how you do it. It's just like, yep, I got it. And you guys move on to the next thing.
You
That
guys
creates
just
so
keep-
much trust.
Yeah, and you guys just got to keep our entire trim detail list on your file, and you just need a freeze folder of all of our standard trims. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need a numbering system. I think we'll talk offline about that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. What else is on that?
Yeah, so let's go to the next one. We are the good guys. So we want to have, and it kind of goes to the next one too, reputation's everything. So we want to be known as the good guys, the good people. We take care of people. We don't look for opportunities to gouge or we want to work with people we enjoy. We want people that like us, that we like them. We love when we hear everybody loves AFAB. That's what we're all about. We want to do business with people we enjoy. We want to grow the right way. We don't want to grow with, we want to enjoy what we do too. And we've had some, product lines that we've tried in the past, like, one of them, like a wall panel system we tried and kind of chased a shiny object, and it was not an enjoyable business, and we discontinued it and found out, our brand is these core values and our strengths, and we want to keep doing what we do right. So those are a bit, let Andrew speak to that too, but we want to always be, there's something, we're missing something or whatever. Like at the end of the day, it evens out longer. We're not going to argue about something. We're not going to, who did this? We'll just get you taken care of. We want everybody to say, after whatever situation, those guys are great. We want to be the good guys. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you share a common goal, right? And so sometimes the little things, we can just kick those to the curb because it's hey, I have this common goal of partnership, this common goal that we continue to build our relationship and our work together. So that makes a lot of sense.
absolutely.
And for those that don't know who Applied Fabricators are, to all the listeners out there, they are a metal fab shop, and you guys bend heavy gauge metal. You guys bend white trim for us. I mean, for all the cold storage contractors, right? For the most part, heavy gauge and trim, and you guys do a lot of other stuff.
Yes.
So you guys want to speak to everything you guys offer the industry and people not even in cold storage industry.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, so we kind of have three different divisions, if you will, of AFAB. Cold storage. Cold storage is by far the biggest. It's probably 2/3 of our total business. It's over half. Yeah, so cold storage industry, we've really noticed significant growth in that industry thanks to Freeze, by the way. who was our biggest customer this past year. We appreciate that. We also do, and really back to when AFAB started, we started in roof edge. So from my dad's, his knowledge in that industry. So we fabricate a lot of metal for commercial roofs, roof edge, commercial gutter, commercial downspout, coping, fascia systems, stuff like that.
Wow.
In the roof edge, and that's probably about a third of our business. And in that commercial roof edge, there's a lot of requirements as far as like wind testing and loads. And so it's called ANSI SPRY FM ES1 certificates on all our roof edges. Mm-hmm. So, and they test it, they do pull out strengths and all that. So our tested roof edges put us on a level that we're more like competing against some national manufacturers. So any local sheet metal shop, they can't necessarily fabricate those roof edges because they're not certified. So that puts us on a level with some bigger manufacturers on the roof side. So and then on the roof edge, it's really more kind of centralized. We do have a couple commercial roofing contractors that travel or have other branches, and we ship all over the country for them. But most of the roof edge is really Indiana and Ohio.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's some opportunity for growth there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the cold storage, commercial roof edge, and we also do metal for commercial glass and glazing contractors.
Wow.
So that fills in that and the miscellaneous, our other probably, third or, 10, 15% of our business. So, and that is definitely very local. That is really just, probably central third of Indiana. I guess we do some stuff in Ohio.
Sure.
And that's what they call brake metal. Anything goes around a storefront window, anything goes around, some kind of, curtain wall system.
Yeah, the curtain wall, anything, the windows. We do the heavy gauge steel clips that hold the window framings into place.
Wow.
So
Okay.
a little bit, that's a smaller business for us, but part of our business and what we enjoy to do.
Awesome. Do you guys have any plans for expansion across the United States? I mean, there's a lot of contractors that do work all over the country. California is far from Indiana. Washington's far. Oregon's far from Indiana. Is there plans to expand, move? What are your thoughts there?
Yes, it's something we've been exploring. It's been an idea for a year or two now.
Sure.
Strongly considering. We've been looking at adding a location. My vision of the future AFAB has been that triangle. Indianapolis, somewhere out west, somewhere down south, have this triangle where we can get anywhere.
Sure.
I'm not getting any younger, so don't want to wait too long, but it's also a risk that you want to strongly consider
Absolutely.
all the ins and outs.
Anytime you're playing with growth, you have to weigh the pros and cons. And when you're thinking about, if you're born and raised in Indiana, okay, now I have to look at these other states and what is it like to operate a business in these states,
Sure.
and everything that comes with that. So you're not just deciding where do I want to be. It's learning how that's going to then impact the greater goals for your company.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And you guys would be perfect to pick your brain on that, and I will continue to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, internally with your current operation, you have added a bunch of automated robots that it was the most incredible thing to see this automated arm pick up trim, after it's done and stack it nicely on a pallet. It's incredible.
It was really cool.
Are there any other things that you guys want to do internally in your current facility where an expansion or adding lines or adding maybe a different type of product service, anything like that you want to talk about right now?
We can't, and Andrew, I'll let Andrew speak too, but we want to continue to be automation. So we do some projects with actually Purdue MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. It's class at Purdue University, and students every semester, we have one or two projects we work with, and they're big on automation. So we're working currently on coming up with a way. So you saw how we have the robot fabrication cell. So that was, we shear a bunch of pieces and let the robot run. It's fully automated. You can run it overnight, turn the lights out, and it's fabricating trims, 3x3 corners, 5-inch flat with hems, big volume items. And so the next step that we're looking at right now is, so we automate the bending process, now we automate the shearing process. So we're working with Purdue currently on a project this semester that they're looking at like an automated slitter, if you will, so that it's some kind of robot or whatever it is, a conveyor, the sheet goes in and it slits the parts versus shear, puts them in little trays, that goes into something that goes right to that robot tray, take it on over. So, so the way it is now, I'll let Andrew say that we have a couple guys that, you're sliding a sheet off and you're shearing. It's fairly easy, but there's lifting and loading and unloading.
Andrew, how many people are touching that before it hits the robot?
Quite a few. So you got guys going to get the metal. You got 2 guys standing there shearing it. You might have another 2 guys taking it from once it's sheared to the robot tray.
Yeah.
That same group might be taking that tray over there. So we can automate that, and it just feeds it. You load, put the sheets up there, skid, it feeds it and loads it, and all you do is drive a forklift and put it in the robot area.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
That's what you want to do.
Wow.
It'll shear a whole sheet down in less than 10 seconds.
Wow.
So speeds up our process even more than what we
Yes.
are doing now.
Yeah.
So no, it's be great.
That's awesome. There's a lot of maintenance on those machinery. They break down a lot. They don't break down a lot. What do you do when they break
Depends
down?
on
Knock on
year.
wood. Knock on wood. This year, not so bad.
Yeah.
Last year, we had quite a few breakdowns. That's where we've grown. We brought in a maintenance guy. So we got a
Yeah.
full-time maintenance guy there now that's on our machines, keeping them up, and the breakdowns have been pretty much non-existent.
Wow.
So
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
we did have a year ago or something. We had like a power surge that blew out
Oh
a few
my
of our
God.
machines.
Oh,
We had just a bad luck. A lot of things broke down, and a gentleman, Phil, who we hired all the time to come fix our machines, we're like, "You're here a lot. Why don't we just hire you?" And then you can help prevent that too. And he's also a big lead in these automation
cool.
projects. As he
That's
knows, okay, we can have a slitting machine. So yeah, those have gone down. We've added some more equipment too.
we got a packaging line that's in the works. It's this semester's project, and
Okay.
streamline our process. You guys know we build crates for
Yep.
the smaller orders, ship them LTL. Bigger orders, we're putting on a hot shot. It takes time to build those crates.
Yep.
A lot of wood, manpower. Same thing with wrapping skids, putting on a truck, banding. Trying to get something all in one. You just take a skid of metal, you gotta stack it on there still, but then it just sends it down this line, packages it, wraps it, bands it, spits it out, and it goes on a truck however it's leaving our shop.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those panel manufacturers, if you ever seen one, they do that, right? With the panels that go down the line and they end up getting stacked automatically, and then a machine comes and wraps them,
Yep.
and then it literally comes in a forklift, picks it up, and off on a truck it goes.
That's very similar
Yeah,
to what we're
that's
looking at
what you
doing.
gotta
So
do, man, I guess.
metal on a skid and a robot will wrap it this
Yep.
way, a banding machine and an orbital, it's called like a tornado wrapping machine.
Yep. Yeah. So Andrew, you are on every email for every order, and you respond at all hours of the night. Do you not work?
Do you sleep ever?
Do you sleep?
Minimal, but no. Yeah, I mean, we just, make sure our customers take care of.
Yeah.
You guys need something, like, cool, we've got it, we got you taken
Yeah.
care of, you guys can move on to the next thing, so.
How long you been with AFAB?
Going on 6 years now, so started off as a basic fabricator with no knowledge, no nothing, and
Yeah.
just got to where I am today, so.
I love that about your guys' company. When we toured, you could see everybody there just buys into the team and family concept, and it's so cool to hear each of your guys' stories, because you went down the line and you made everybody talk. And there's
Yeah,
some
they didn't
nervous,
want to.
there are some nervous people that do not like to speak in public, but hearing the fact that you brought them in, they didn't know, they started here, and now they're doing this, and you guys promote within, and I think
Yes.
that's huge. That's so huge to promote within
Trying to
and
always,
empower your people.
yes, trying to grow them in-house, build them up, and, as we grow, we're like, hey, we're gonna need to bring in more, elevate, and just keep moving everybody up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we continue to invest in our employees. We do some emerging leader classes that we have people come on site and do some sessions with.
Yeah.
Andrew's been was in a class a year ago, and now we do some once a month emerging
Once
leader.
a month, yep. So we always investing in training.
Awesome.
There's been automation training, specialty classes, leaders, team leads, stuff like that. We're always trying to grow them and groom them, and the better they are, the better we are. So
Yeah. Do you guys get involved in any like engineering componentry, building a cold storage building, and we need 16 gauge or 12 gauge or 10 gauge, and maybe what's structural, what's not? Do you guys get involved in any of that side of that, or you try to stay away from that?
We stay away. We have on occasion, like on the roof side, had to have some engineering calcs done.
Yeah.
We'd subbed out an engineer. But no, we kind of rely on you guys to tell us, or the engineer to say that needs to be 7 gauge or 10 gauge. And
We rely on the engineer of record. Hey, this is you, man. I ain't touching this.
yep.
You pay us to put it in, and we pay you to make it.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Yep, we like being in that spot.
Yep.
You said obviously like cold storage is a big part of your business. Has it always been that way? Or when do you feel like it changed some way where it was like, oh, look at all this cold storage?
I would say the big boom was beginning of 22. That was when it really started taking off.
Okay.
And so before that, yeah, we did some. January 22, it's like it just started blowing up, and it hasn't let off since, which has
No, it
been great.
hasn't.
Been great.
It's good. Yeah, it is good.
So we've
Yeah.
had
Yeah. I remember using you guys a long time ago at my past life and my past company, and we'd use you for a little bit, and then we'd come off a little bit, and then it's kind of like we love you one day and we forgot about you the next day, and I don't know, man. It just ever since this all happened, it's just been an easy button, if you will,
Yeah.
to work with, and it's just it doesn't make any sense to go anywhere else. We think that way, but for anyone else out there, I love asking this question: why buy from AFAB?
For those reasons, like you said, we got your back. We got the partnership. Enjoy your beer. We got it from here. We're rapid, responsive, and reliable. So
Yeah.
there's no need to worry. There's no need to say, is that going to be there this day? Send it in. It's taken care of, and you can go to sleep at night
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah. One thing I would love, and I love brainstorming and having these conversations, and we talked about this, and I don't know if it can be done, but there are a lot of trims that are, let's say you have a 3x3 and a 3x4 outside corner, or a 3x3 inside corner and a 2x2 inside corner. And we have a name for it or a tag for it, right, at our company. 100 pieces of each hit the job site. Our guy in the field grabs that, looks like a normal inside corner trim, and puts it in, but it's the wrong size
Uh-huh.
because it's not labeled, right? And instead of going to the plans and saying, well, that's a 3x3, that's a T4 3x3, and that's where it needs to be, they grab the 2x2, let's say by accident. Is there any way or plans to try to incorporate labeling trim in any way, shape, or form to make it easier on the guys in the field?
I've actually loved that you started doing that T numbering system. It's actually helped our guys with fabrication. They're taking notes on a job. They have to write, I did 100 3x3s, 50 this, 50, they just write T4. I did 1,000, and it's helped us out. But yeah, that's something we could definitely do. Takes not hardly any more time. Every bundle, whatever it is, just whatever T number you've got, and put it on there. And yeah, it'd be
It's
great.
hard to put a Sharpie on that thing and put T4 in every piece, you know what I mean? But I don't know, like if it's packaged and wrapped as a one unit of the same trim, somehow tag that with that, call it a T4, and
Yeah.
just wrap right. I don't know. I'm trying to make it easier on my guys in the field.
Yeah.
Because it does kind of become a,
Because I'm trying to be
grab
like
this,
you.
I'll just grab this,
I
I'll
want
just-
you guys make the easy button. I'm trying to get the guys in the field an easy button,
Yeah.
Because the path of least resistance is what everyone is going to take, right?
Yeah, so they're cracking that crate open and then grabbing this and grabbing that.
Dude, it's a
It's a
free for all.
free-for-all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to consider that. Yeah, how we, whether it's every piece or every bundle or some way that back to that easy button for your guys in the field too. So any
Well,
way we
and
can help
it's-
that.
It's some of that in the field too,
Oh,
is
I know.
is where they,
Mhm.
their storage process for the
Yeah.
materials on the job as well. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be all hands participating to solve this.
Oh, 100%. Well, so you've been doing this a long time, all right? And both you guys. So you've worked with a lot of cold storage contractors. You might have been at some job sites. Has there been any cool moment for you guys that stick out where like, dude, this industry is cool? Any cool moment that you could think of that you want to share, like a fun, cool story?
A cool, well, this right here is a cool moment.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
I
Duh.
would say the Fast Friday event, that was phenomenal.
So
We
cool.
put all the faces to the names and
Yes.
people I've emailed or talked on the phone to 1,000 times but never met. That was great. Coming down, visiting different customers, spend that time building that relationship, friendship, partnerships. I mean, it's all been the greatest part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that event was awesome. It was great to have everybody out, see your shop, everybody in person.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that everybody loves everybody. That was really enjoyable. That's what part of this industry I enjoy the most. And
Yeah.
it's interesting, back to that, the cold storage and kind of where it began and all that. Like, it's really, you're looking at the entire sales force right here, and the sales force has just been the brand and the reputation and all that. and it's really organically grown just because of that. You know, we know someone, they talk to someone, call AFAB. It really started back when my dad owned the company, and you know, I'm in high school and college in the summers working in the shop, and there's a local company, you guys probably remember, Envirotech Construction.
Oh yeah.
And and Mike Bowles, the owner, and Roger Jukes, Randy Jukes, and Bob Jukes, and
Jukes.
among others. And you know, those guys remember. I remember Brandon's back there at the break. You know, with his hat on backwards, fabbing metal, and he was 15. And that's kind of the beginning of the cold storage. And as we build and grown, people have gone other places and know other people. And anytime the question comes up, you know, who can I get to take care of us on trims? And call AFAB. Call AFAB. So that's been our sales force. Really, is you.
Yeah.
So,
I recommend you a lot.
Yes, we do.
we appreciate that.
a lot
Because
of people.
you live what you put on the wall, right?
Yep.
So we know that we don't have to worry.
Heck yeah.
And you don't.
And we don't.
No.
Yeah. What's so funny?
Nothing. Just haven't gotten to use my favorite button yet. So
It's fine. It's all good.
no,
It's all good.
it's gotta happen organically.
Yeah, it's all good. Cool. Any questions, Jenna?
Where can people
Ah, this is a good one.
find more information about Applied Fabricators? If they want to look you guys up, if they want to see what you guys are doing, where can they go to find out?
Go to our website, www.appliedfabricators.com. Some nice videos. You'll see we actually need to update it because our expansion was just added this past year. We added 17,000 square feet, some more machines.
Wow.
But there is some video on there. It shows our robot fabrication cell running. And yeah, so that's got some information. And like I said, we need to update with some of our new equipment. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You guys on LinkedIn now?
we're on LinkedIn.
Oh,
Yep.
Facebook?
Facebook.
Twitter,
Facebook.
X?
Twitter.
Yeah, I'm too old for that, I guess.
Are you guys on TikTok?
Are you talking?
Yeah. You on TikTok?
We need to.
No, I know, man. I know. But
These are guys, the young guys, they know more about that kind of stuff than I do. You know?
yeah. I don't see the connection with TikTok with our construction industry, I guess, because I look at that, it's all like reels and funny reels and videos and I, bad enough, like I controlled our Freeze Instagram page and like I have our field guys will like follow our company, so in return I'll follow them back and I will see them post videos of them after work on the job site dancing with a metal panel or you know just doing something funny, and I'm like, geez Louise. So I don't know, sometimes they'll if they're waiting, we're doing ASR, so they're on top of the roof and they're like waiting for the next crane pick in the panel, and they're doing like a overview zoom of like how they're 125 feet in the air of like the crane picking up this panel from way down below and they're way up top, and it looks so cool. I'm like, dude, I am scared of heights. Not
Yeah,
Me
you
too,
are.
so are we.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
No
We
way.
won't get up on a ladder, right?
No way.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You
We'll
are.
make Jake go up there.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
got a question for you guys too, and I think I know the answer, but it'd be good for Andrew and some of the other guys back at our shop to understand. But trim details, there's 3x3, 3x4, and I think a lot of that is also, what the field installers like. But how do you guys differentiate and just to kind of give some information on some of those trim details and who decides and who specifies what?
Ooh, well, a lot of it comes from the architectural drawings that we are given. Sometimes they don't put a dimension on it, so we'll go back to our standards. Like, for example, if we're doing an outside corner, are we going to 45 and miter the corners, or, we're going to install
On the panel?
Yeah, are we going to go panel to panel and, do a different install where we might need a 3x8 outside corner instead of doing a 4x4 outside corner? Like, we can dictate that trim, and we'll put that on our shop drawings on how we're going to build it. Some trim looks better than others, and it's all aesthetics at that point. That's all trim is doing. Like, trim is just covering the spray foam, the panel joint connection, the peel and seal. Like, that's all. I mean, it's all aesthetic, right? So, it's really up to us on what trim to use. I try to keep it simple, stupid. Again, easy button for everybody in the field. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have, certain people, we know they like certain things. They like a hug bend or a lesser bend, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that might be, so the next question might be, so you asked about like engineering, so, and your panel tracks or angles. Who, you guys, that comes in the drawings, does the engineer calculate load, or is it kind of a standard panel manufacturer detail on a track or an angle?
Yeah, so we, all of insulated metal panel manufacturers will do calculations for us. So if we're doing an exterior building, we need to know, is there any back fastening required after we install the panels on the exterior shell of the building? Do we need to back fasten any of those panels? So we'll have to give them the structural drawings, the elevations and everything, and they're looking at safety factors, wind loads, pressures, all those things and they have a formula that kind of pops out at, no back fastening required, hey, you need to put a fab block in each of these panels 10.5 inches away from the joint, and all those things, and it would be at each girt level and line, and they'll even look at the structurals and say, hey, your girt spacing is it's not adequate. And that's the hardest part, because we're given a chance to look at the job after sometimes the structural is already done and bought out and they're building it that way. And then we go back to them and say, hey, your girts are 8 feet on center, dude. They need to be at 6 or this system won't work. They get mad. It's like, don't get mad at us. Like, I'm just telling you, like, we were given this at this time of the job. You know what I mean? So, that's those calculations. You do interior calculations for walkable IMP ceilings, and, you look at the rod drops and how they connect to the T's and how often you're connecting the T, how long your ceiling panels are. There's a formula and chart that'll spit out a PSF live load for walkable. All the IMP manufacturers do that for us. We are not engineers. We do not carry professional liability for those reasons. When we are not the engineer of record. They design it, right? They're giving us basically a blueprint of what to build, and then we will give them shop drawings of how we are going to build it and where thermal cuts need to be, where peel and seal needs to be, to build a vapor tight building, right? So, did that answer your question?
I think, yeah.
Stop interviewing me, man.
So we're kind of the same. We want people. We don't want to dictate what we think you want. We want you to tell us what you want.
Exactly.
And our machines don't care if we've been 95 degrees or 85 degrees or 3x3 or 3. The machine doesn't care, guys. But what do you guys want? And that's what we want to know. And we have that too. Some installers, they'll call us and just say, hey, I always like mine, a little snug, or tweak this or tweak that. Back to that point, like, what makes your life easier, we're happy to do.
It would make my life a lot easier if I just drew a trim with some angles and you guys could guess what that degree is. That would be great.
A lot of times we do.
Because I don't know what that degree is. I don't know, 135. Just, I don't know.
Yep.
I've given Andrew a lot of that. Like, here's a trim. You're like, well, what is the, you know what I mean? Like, how long does that trim piece have to be? It gets complicated. You start doing like a crown molding piece with elevation, jog outs or whatever to like cover a heavy gauge angle over the top of it, and you start having these jog outs, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have this formula to how wide that metal needs to be with the hems and all the bends. Like, that's
where it just comes like, all right, I know what you guys have used before, what, different things, keep mental notes of that. And I'm like, yep, I already got you, good to go.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
We do have that comment quite a bit too. Like, our customers say, I can just call you when I'm driving from a truck and I need a 3x3, or I need a base trim with a caulk lip and all that. And I don't have to go through and say, this is 12 degrees, this is 1.5, we know what you need at that point.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Make it back to that, make it easy. Enjoy your beer, we got it from here.
Yeah, that's the AFAB way, man. We dig it. Well, dude, I want to ask you some fun questions
Sure.
to get to know you more.
Cool.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.
Do you know what we're about to do? Have you seen any of our podcasts?
I have.
Like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right. I ask you this or that questions, all right? And then you just give me your answer. If I don't like your answer... Wait, which one is it?
This one.
I'm just kidding. All right. Okay, so I will ask Andrew first,
All right.
and then you have to answer the same question. Fair?
Fair.
All right, dude. We got Applied Fabricators on the hot seat for our this and that question. This entire episode
This is sponsored by our friends at AFAB.
sponsored by our new sponsors, AFAB.
Woohoo.
That's right. All right, my guy. Let's see here. Owe money or owe a favor?
Oh, a favor.
So let me go back. What are we saying? Yes, or which
is better? Which you prefer?
Which would you prefer?
This or that?
Would you prefer to owe someone money, or would you prefer to owe someone a favor?
Okay, owe a favor.
Okay. Wine or beer?
Beer.
Wine.
Whoa. Smartphone or a tablet?
Smartphone.
Smartphone.
Camping or glamping?
Glamping.
Glamping.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
I like that. That's good. Cooking or being cooked for?
Cook for.
Cook for.
All right. Roommates or live alone?
Alone.
Roommates.
Attend a party or host a party?
Attend a party.
Host a party.
Cash or credit?
Cash.
Cash.
Cash. My gosh, there you go. Are you hot coffee or iced coffee?
Neither.
Hot coffee.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Pepsi.
NHL or NFL?
NFL.
NHL.
Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers?
I'm gonna go neither.
but if you had to have one quarterback.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
My man, awesome. Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love?
I'm a Lions fan, so this is just unfair. So can't root for either, but I'm gonna go Jordan Love.
Aaron Rodgers.
Jared Goff or Matt Stafford?
Jared Goff.
Matt Stafford.
Oh my God, you guys are so not alike. Complete opposite. I dig it. One of these I dig, and I gotta ask, dude. Lose your hair or your sense of smell?
Well, I'm losing my hair now, so that's an easy one.
Yeah, same. Lose your hair.
Dude, no internet or no running water?
That's tough. No internet.
No internet.
Magical strength or an invisibility cape?
Let's go magical strength.
Magical strength.
All right, I like that. Okay, let's do.
We found some similarities.
We do. All right, beachside or poolside?
Beachside.
B-side.
All right, last and final. Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
All right.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
That was good.
It is.
Dude, well, that's all I have. Do you guys have to add? Do you want to add anything about anything at all? I mean, the floor is yours. You guys want to talk about anything? Did we miss anything?
Our other core values real quick, and we don't have to really. We also are we, not me. Some of our core values
I like that.
we're about the team. About we don't team success does breed personal success,
It
but
sure
team
does.
success first.
Yeah.
Something that is really important to me too, and Andrew definitely carries this flag. We are positive, grateful, and enthusiastic. So we want to be grateful. Everything comes in. You're never, we get that a lot. Oh, I'm sorry to keep bothering you. You're not bothering us ever. We're grateful for everything. We want to be positive, enthusiastic all the time.
Yeah.
And Andrew's great about that. You see the way he communicates, like, you got it, we got you, love it, thank you. We don't want an order coming in and someone be like, oh, okay, that's not us.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, you send an order in for, 10,000 feet of track. Like, let's go, let's get it done. It, keeps our guys happy, keeps them busy. I mean, it's awesome.
We get it done and we get it done right. So it's two ways. We get it done right as in correctly, and we get it done right. And we do.
That's that's a big thing for us. Everybody's human; they're gonna make a mistake.
Of course.
Yeah.
But we're gonna jump through hoops to get it corrected for you. So like we strip something out, it's incorrect, or we forgot something. We're gonna jump right on it, get it out as fast as we physically can. And it's all about that partnership, You guys order something incorrectly, like we're still gonna fix it for you and jump on as quick as we can, get you taken care of.
Yeah. That's true.
Absolutely, and that kind of goes to the next one. We act in good faith. So we do things right. We want to be known as the we're the good people. We're the right people. We don't gouge. We don't take advantage. We want to always be known as that. And back to everybody makes mistakes, but we're there partnering to work that out together. We're in the same project as you guys. We're on site as much as you are, really, but we're just back at our shop. So
Yeah.
Guys need help with a detail. You guys, John needs some help with some trims and figuring out some things.
Yeah.
Me and him spent some time on the phone just helping him. He's like, that's helped tremendously. It's like, just being there to help out and make that transition and orders even that much better.
That's awesome. Yeah. The
Two more.
understanding pieces.
and I'll stop blabbing, but this kind of goes to that next one. We win our mistakes and successes. So
Yeah.
back to that point, you know, like we don't like to make mistakes, but how we handle mistakes, we love the fact that AFAB took care of that. You know, it's we're all gonna be human, but we want to, you know, there's things that happen on a job site. There's things that happen on our machines. There's things we do, but we go in there saying we're gonna make it right. So we win a mistake just as much as we win a success. So that's important to us.
Love that.
And the last one here is kind of summarized all we care. So we care about our people, we care about their families, we care about our partners and their families. It's, you know, you've met my wife, you've met his wife, we've met all our families. You know, that's a big part of us. It's like, it's a team, but it's also a family.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Big
Absolutely.
for us, too.
It comes through. Let me ask you, when in the 40 years, you guys have been in business now 40 years, how did this develop? How did this idea of like putting these core values up in the shop where you're seeing them every day? Like, how did that idea come about? Was it gradual? Was it just one day we're like, nope, we're defining these and this is how our culture is gonna, you know, thrive from here?
Sure. So we did a branding, probably 4 or 5 years ago. We did a company branding. It's when we were getting ready to rebuild our website and we were starting to, you know, kind of get a little more diverse and grow. So you go through this path and with this a company that helped us do this branding, they just asking you all these questions, and then it kind of comes this realization like, you know, what are the things you do? And obviously we're like, well, people send something over and they know we got them taken care of. Okay, that's a core value, and let's start putting this on paper.
Yeah.
So to that point, like these are not just banners we put up on a wall to say this is what we think. This is, as we went through this, you know, looking into ourselves and how we've gotten to where we've gotten, it starts, you see, okay, this is how we've grown by doing these things. So then it's like, we want to keep doing that.
Yes.
So yeah, that's kind of how it started. Went through like a branding agency. And,
That's great though, because I think like when you have a family business or any business really, sometimes you're so busy that you sometimes don't get a chance to stop and think about that, stop and define it. And so to have someone from the outside come in and go, hey, what do you stand for? How do you operate? How do you act? Like, how do you want to be known? Like, those are all questions that we normally wouldn't take time in business to think about, maybe at the beginning, but it's good to revisit it. And now you have this really beautiful culture that you guys have cultivated, and it's an honor to be in business with you.
Well, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and interesting too, and you can tell me to cut off anytime you want, but some of these go to the personal, like how the family business started. My dad started. Back in '84 started, I worked there every summer, got some experience in sales, and then he brought me into, you know, hopefully eventually exit plan and take over the business. At the time, the company was struggling, and so my dad was not doing well health-wise, and I was at that point not too happy because I got the college degree and then I'm back in the shop working. And at the time, my mom's like, she comes to me and she's like, if your dad was gone, would you be happy or would you stay? And I was like, I don't want to word it that way, but yeah. So at the time, I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to do. And it was really kind of just, back to that family business. Sometimes it's tough. So working with my dad, I have all these great ideas. None of those were going to happen. So that was when the transition happened, and we had a buyout plan. And the company was struggling at that time. And honestly, it very likely could have gone out of business at that time at that point. And my mom realized that. She's like, our future really has to be Brandon, or we could go out of business. Let's let your son do what he's got to do. And I'll never forget that day when my mom asked me that. So she went home, and my dad wasn't there at the time, went home and said, we got to do this, or we're going to go out of business. And he comes in there and goes, here's the keys, I'm out. And he was ready to exit too.
Yeah.
I'd never forget that day. So then my task at that point was to go, why are we struggling? So I'm calling on customers like, why are you not buying from us? And these reasons kind of created these beginnings, these core values. And some of them were like, well, I placed an order and your dad get mad at me. Or something, he's like, why didn't you, you need 30 more feet. Why didn't you plan better? And it's like, it seemed like he was ungrateful. It seemed like, we don't got, so all these little things. I'm like, that's not the way to run a business. We need to act this way, and let me rebuild these relationships, and let me rebuild these customers, kind of from scratch. And so some of these things going through that branding was like self-reflection, like how did you get from there and what happened and all this kind of stuff. And then it kind of starts making sense. So we have our weekly rah-rah, as we call it, and we'll just go through these core values. And a lot of times I'll bring that story up. It's like, this isn't just something that we say to act as if, like, we wouldn't be here today if some of these things weren't put into place.
Sure.
And that's why we've grown. It's like, we have this culture and these core values, and people like Andrew that wave that flag. It's like that continues to breed and grow and understand. And it's like, yeah, we've got here because of that. So it's not just something we look at and say, this is what we want to do. It's really, it could have gone out of business, and this is where we're at now. So that happened in 2008. I bought my mom and dad out. So we did a payment plan through them, not through a bank. Interestingly enough, it was a 15-year buyout, and I just paid my mom her last payment.
Oh,
We get teary-eyed.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, congrats, man. Yeah.
That is
my
so
mom,
cool.
Julie, and so my dad passed away soon after I bought them out. So
Oh, jeez.
I get emotional. But yeah, my mom's still kind of on board, but I paid her last payment, and we're gonna do something real nice for her here soon.
Absolutely.
And
That's
That was
amazing.
somewhere cool, man.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a proud moment, dude.
Yeah.
Be proud of that.
thank you.
And I know you're.
I get emotional
No,
sometimes
it's
too.
all
We,
good.
we,
Yeah.
we
It's-
notice
you
that
should.
it's
You should. I mean, and I know your dad's proud as hell,
Absolutely.
well, thank you.
and I know he's going to continue to watch you down and being proud as hell, because what you guys built is incredible.
And that's what, those core
It's
values,
so
like we bring somebody in for a job interview. We're going to base a lot of what, not experience or who they, about who they are with our fitting our core values. Because if you got someone that doesn't fit, it's not going to be a good fit for the company, for them. And that's what we base a lot of what we do is just off those core values.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can teach you sheet metal.
Right.
You can't teach you core values.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
And you have to have that to work with us, and
Yeah.
we continue to do that, and it makes it fun.
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
Absolutely. Wow.
Powerful
Thank you.
stuff, dude.
Yes.
Powerful stuff, man.
Thank you
Love
for
it.
coming. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for having
elaborating.
us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate
fun.
Really enjoy you guys too, and
Thank you.
yeah.
Our listeners are gonna love this. I mean, and to all of them, dude. As much as we thank you guys for taking care of us and being literally the best partners on the planet,
Yes.
if people are not buying from you, they
They're-
freaking need to.
They are making a mistake.
and they're making a mistake, and it's worth the extra money and freight.
100%.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And all the listeners that listen to us and support us on this Cool Times podcast, fun little journey to get the word out to people in the industry. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Continue to share the videos and subscribe to the podcast, and even if you don't listen, just subscribe anyways. All right, do it. All this stuff helps get the word out there in the industry, and we're just trying to make a positive impact. And I know Jenna works hard on this stuff with me, and this is fun.
It
But
is. And
it's-
it's fun to
we don't
share.
exist without guys like you, man.
Yep.
I'll tell you that. So
Exactly. We're excited to see
Yeah.
what the next 40 years will look like
Absolutely.
for AFAB.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and we're gonna have you back on.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yes.
No, thanks for having us.
Yes,
We enjoyed
thank
it.
you.
Awesome. See you guys.